Good morning guys, welcome to the video. My name's Derek, also known as Tap Peddler, and today I'm working on my barn. As you know, I'm renovating this barn to be a business warehouse, and I'm up on the roof. I've moved this panel back because I need to start putting in the flashing. Let me show you how I'm doing it. Okay, so how this has been designed, this is sort of a custom thing for what I did. I've got a panel here that sits underneath the tile, underneath the panels, and this slot here will cut into the brickwork all the way up, provide a seal. So the first thing is I've marked it out, so I've pressed it against it and marked out where I need to cut it, and I need to angle grind a slot, and this will allow me to get a seal nicely along that is straight, because the wall's not straight. So you know, it'll be deeper in some areas than others. That's fine. It sits underneath the panel, and then once the panel's on top, the flashing tape will go over the panel and up here. That's how it's been designed. I think that will work quite well. So yeah, it's just a case of cutting the slot in. I've got to do a bit of re-mortaring here with the lime mortar. I've got to do that before I do that. I also need to add a couple of bricks at the top here, because that lintel's slightly too high for where the roof's gone to, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to add a couple of extra bricks there, and even more on the other side. So I've got to sort that out today as well. So yeah, that's the plan today, is basically to get this done. Okay, I've cut some of it, as you can see here, but it still needs a little bit more cut so it slots in a bit at the top. It's quite time consuming this, because I don't want to cut too much, but it's also got to be completely straight. Alright, so as you can see, I've managed to do the slot, and I've malleted in the panel into the gap, so that's just in there temporarily. I've got to put the next one that goes over the top slightly. I've got to put a piece of brick in there. Basically one full brick should seal that up, and I've got to put the mortar in down at the bottom here. So that's the next job. Okay, so as you can see, I've progressed quite a bit now. I've got the panel back on, and I've also screwed the trim piece up to the brickwork and then sealed it. I think I underestimated how wonky this wall was, because putting a straight edge to it was no mean feat. You know, I managed to get that done, cutting into the wall and also cutting away bits of the metal, bits of the lip, so it will sit in there nicely now. What I'm going to do now, because the panels don't fit flush with the wall, which is why I've took this approach, I'm going to put a batten just underneath there before the flashing tape goes on, and then I'm going to stick the flashing tape all the way down. Okay, so that's the final result. I'm pretty happy with that. Flashing, it's quite difficult to get on there because you've got it folding around the tile around the tile profile, but also got to fit to the flat edge at the side, so it's a bit tricky, but I think I'm happy with that. And it's all sealed into the wall as well going up. So yeah, just got the other side to match. The ends are still a bit scrappy at the moment because I've got to put the extra brick in from behind up there. I can do that from behind. So I've got the other side to do as well. And then I've got the edging to do there as well when I do all the gutters and things like that. so that might need trimming off there. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. I'm just doing the prep work around this side of the barn now. I'm almost finished the battens, but I've started to sort out the wall at the top here. Let me show you what I've been doing. Let me just climb the ladders here. Okay, so this wall here obviously had some sort of flashing up there at some point, which was higher than the new flashing. So basically what I wanted to do was angle grind all of that away as much as I could anyway. It was all quite white. I put a little bit of a picture in just now. I've used this angle grinder to angle grind all the white as much as I can away. And what I've done, I've repointed along there as well, so I'm just waiting for that to dry. Another thing I've been doing, let me just bring you up here, is I've put in a new lintel at the bottom, a smaller lintel that just goes across, just to hold about 3 courses of bricks. Roof's going to come up here, and this would have been basically a hole in the wall, so I've had to fill them in with some bricks. Also repaired here, I've added a small brick. It goes basically into the back, and that's all mortared in, and that's filling up that little gap there. Just added a little bit of mortar there, I think that'll be covered anyway, to be honest with you, with the ridge plate. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today, and now it's had time to dry a little bit. The wall up there looks a lot better. Still can see it, but I don't think unless you were looking for it, you wouldn't notice it. And that's still yet to dry, but the bricks are starting to dry there. So yeah, pleased with that. And I've drawn the line, see that black line that goes up? That's where I've got a cut into the brick for the flashing to slot into. So I'll angle grind that at some point. So it's another day now, and I'm working back on the roof. Let me show you what I've done this time. Right, I'm round the back, and I've been doing the flashing for this side. It's basically identical to what I did the other side, although I've learned a couple of things from that side. And the main thing is to fix this batten, the wooden batten that goes up there. That allows me to just put a couple of screws in there as well to hold it nicely in place. I did it on the other side, but I had to put rule plugs into the brick, and it was quite difficult to do, especially with all the mastic and stuff like that all sticking everywhere. And I've noticed that if you have a look, the wall does run out a little bit further up there, so I should have to deal with that. But it should be okay. As you can see, I've bricked up that area there, so hopefully get a decent fitting of the panel. There's the panel there ready to go on. So I've got my mallet, and basically I just slot it in. I'm going to do a test fit first, and then I'll get the mastic out, put the mastic in this slot which I've cut with the angle grinder, and then that will be permanently in there then. And then I'll also screw it on in some places. I might have to cut the metal as well, because up there it's going to stick out quite a bit, but down here it needs to be quite flush. I'll see how I go anyway. Okay, so that's it done. It's a bit dusty, it needs cleaning off. That's it sealed. As you can see the reason why I needed this lip on here, because the wall isn't straight, especially up here. I've had to actually fill in a little bit of concrete there as well. Yeah, pretty pleased with it. I've just got to put the caps on there and clean it up. And I'll show you what I've done at the ridge. Let's climb up here. Okay, so here's the ridge cap. So at the very top here, I've continued up the trim so it's like a triangle on the top, which I think will finish it off nice. And I've just put some flashing tape over the join there, and then a little bit over there as well, just to build some braces. And this will go right up against here and screw that on. So what I'm also going to do, I'm going to put an extra screw on each of the top parts of these panels. Just stop the lift. As you can see, there's a little bit of a lift. So I'm going to put an extra screw all the way along, and then the ridge panel also screwed to the peaks. As you can see from this side, got the top on there now. It's pretty good. Quite pleased with that. Yeah, that's what it looks like from below. Quite good, I think. Quite pleased with it. Now what I'm planning on doing is putting the ridge cap on now, on one side, and then when I put these panels on, I'll just slide up underneath and I'll be able to fix it on as I go along, and that will save me shuffling along the top of the roof once it's all finished. That's what I'm going to try and do anyway, see how it goes. You can see how uneven that wall is. Now there's a straight edge there. You can see why it's a good idea for me to order that lipped piece of flashing, because that will mean I can get it level ready for the panels.